Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another exciting vlog from Serbia. Today we're gonna hike from village Krivača to Golubac near the Danube, and the path goes through Djerdap National Park, so we should see lots of nature and maybe even animals. So here at the small villages in Serbia, you can still see people live kind of like in medieval ages. They're still farming their animals. But I see it's changing. People don't want to farm animals anymore and they would rather work some other jobs. But on the other hand, we are paying for animals to be slaughtered on a much bigger scale. But I also see some farmers having more profits from like planting fruit trees like plums, even though they make alcohol from it. But it's still better than planting corn or soy for animal feed. So as I said before, spring is one of my favorite seasons. Everything just blossoms. It starts to smell good. Everything is getting color again. So we started a hike walking on this field road and kind of walking in between the properties, and there's barbed wire fence on the right side even. And it kind of reminded us of South America, where these fences would just go for like maybe even like hundreds of kilometers, especially in Argentina and Chile. So I'm not saying that Serbia is perfect, but it's much better than other countries. Like there is not so much privatization as, for example, you would see in Spain, or it pretty much comes from this Western world. So the Spanish culture got over to South America and everything is basically private and you have no freedom of movement, pretty much, kind of living like in a prison. So we're about 5 minutes into the hike and there are still fields around. I think most of these fields are to support the animal agriculture. So mostly they grow corn to feed the animals. You can see the cornfield just over here, and you can see there are no fences anymore. So that fence from there, it's really old, but most of the time, like here is a field but there is no fence. So that's old age thinking. So South America is Middle Ages still. And it seems like there is more forest now, or at least more trees. So we're gonna see how we go. So you can see over there are some trees. It's probably some fruit trees. So people see more potential in growing trees these days. So we came from here and I thought we would keep going this way. But actually, once you look on the map, maps.me, the road is going up here and somewhere behind that house. So without the map, we would have no idea. We would just think this is some field and a house. So that's the importance of having a map and a GPS. So we're hiking for about 20 minutes now and we're still following kind of the field road, so be perfect for a mountain bike, but maybe this is gonna get more narrow, so we'll see how it goes. And you got still some fields, grass fields on the right, and but it's more nature. So we also have a drone, we're gonna fly it sometimes. So now we are in the forest and we're still following the maps, but we see a little sign like a C and it's pointing that way. So that's actually what the map says, but they should remark it. I think there must be some business going on where they don't want people to go to Djerdap without a guide. Something like in South America, some parts. So as I mentioned before in my previous videos, the hiking in Serbia is not really popular, so there is not really any single trail hiking routes, and the only pretty much hiking you can do is on the field roads that are made by tractors, or also forest roads that are made by tractors that are coming there for woods. The marking is terrible. Without GPS you're gonna get lost really easily. Alright, we got a view of Danube for the first time. Wow. So that's Danube. And we have another maybe 8 kilometers to the river. Seems more down the hill from now. And that's on the other side is already Romania. Amazing. So I think we're gonna fly a drone a little bit for now and see how it goes. And here we spotted some animal on the field that looked like a cat. So this is a zoomed in maximum with Sanya's phone, a Samsung Galaxy Note 8. And you can see it's a terrible zoom, you can't even see what it is, it's only something moving, really pixelated. And now compare it to iPhone 7 Plus, so this is same distance, and you can see it's not 100% good, but you can see it's much better. It's way more definition, and you can even recognize that it's probably a fox. So now we're gonna try to fly a drone here and see if we can fly it over this fox. So it was not easy to find a fox with a drone. I thought it already ran away, but here finally we spotted it, and I thought it would run away as I'm gonna descend, but it was just standing still. And I actually thought it's some dog until I went even more down, and you can clearly see it's a fox with a long tail. Now that was really amazing, managing to capture a wild animal so close with a drone that's making lots of noise. So I think this is a pretty rare footage, and I don't think I'll have a possibility to record animals like this anytime soon. So this is really a gem that I recorded. Here is a close-up footage one more time. Yeah. And here you can see the town Golubac on the left side from the Danube, and on the right side of the Danube is already the Romania and Romanian mountains, and the rest is pretty much the Djerdap National Park hills. Now as you can see, we still have quite a long way to go to the Danube, and you can choose to go either to Golubac town, which is a little bit further, but we're choosing to go to the Golubac fortress, which should be just behind this hill. And here I'm really coming back with the drone because I'm not really comfortable flying it so far away with a lower battery. As I'm not really experienced with flying drone, this is maybe the 5th time flying the drone. But the footage will get better and better as I discover different modes and also different tilt of the camera. Alright, so we're just flying the drone and we saw the fox somewhere over here. First we thought it's a cat because he was not scared of the drone. We saw the footage. And now we see the Danube over there. So I think we're gonna go around and connect somewhere there. And we're gonna have lunch in about half an hour and fly a drone again. I think it's important to have an open space like this. But you can see it has like a compass and GPS, so it's easy to navigate back to yourself. The problem would be if it stops working for some reason. But yeah, for now this is a road good for even mountain bike. It's not much elevation. It's mostly going through the fields, and we'll see what's gonna be next. So this path is pretty easy to follow now because the grass is still not very overgrown, but in a few months in the summer this might be much harder to navigate through because the grass will get up to here maybe, and you're not gonna see this road so well. So now we're getting into some woods. So now we got to some houses. It's probably just houses for the farmers and stuff. I don't think people actually live here. But yeah, pretty much all these hiking roads are pretty much a connection of many field roads. So that's why it's not going straight like that, but we have to go around. It's the same case in South America. The only countries with hiking cultures are Western European countries like Austria, Switzerland, you know, France, UK, where you have lots of hiking roads. And hiking roads in South America and Serbia, it's pretty much just field roads connected together. So here we got to the field where there are grazing animals, I think some cows, sheep and maybe some goats. So many people argue that there is no problem eating animals or milk from animals who are grazing outside on the field. There are actually the same problems as with factory farm animals. The only difference is that they have a better life. Health-wise, it's still terrible for you. The meat still contains saturated fat and cholesterol that's clogging up your arteries and causing heart disease. The red meat still contains the heme iron, which is causing cancer. Not to mention the cancer-causing casein protein in dairy. And environmentally, it's even less sustainable. For free range, you need much larger areas. So if everyone was eating free-range meat, we would need like 3 planets to sustain ourselves. Ethically, it's also not reasonable. It's even more injustice to take a life of an animal that's living a happy life. You would never kill these dogs for meat, so why are you doing it to other animals when it's absolutely unnecessary and we can thrive on a plant-based vegan diet? The dog's there. And there was an old man asking for a cigarette, right? And yeah, so now we're just gonna keep going this way. And there should be a crossroad. One way should go to Golubac, one way to Golubac's castle. And I think we're gonna go to Golubac's castle. So you can see the Danube even in the distance, how it's going. Wow. So usually people don't care about farm animals at all, but almost everybody cares about humans. So even this free-range farming are terrible for people, like this old man has to be here all day by himself. He asked us for cigarettes. Not to mention the people who slaughter the animals, especially in the factory farms. So now we got to the top of some platform, and I think we're gonna enter to the woods soon and enter the national park. Right, so it's 3 p.m. We're still following the path, following the signs and the map on maps.me, and we're gonna have lunch. There should be a crossroad soon which will connect to Golubac or Golubac's castle, and I think we're gonna go to Golubac's castle. So now we just need to get there and have lunch soon. Alright, this is Whole Foods Vegan Kitchen. So right here I have it's millet with some potatoes and zucchini, baked zucchini, some other frozen vegetables, and that's it. And some also vegetable stock mixed with vinegar, right, as a sauce. So it's a pretty good meal. I'm trying new vegan recipes. And Sonia has a vegan burger made out of
Lentils
and mushrooms, no? Lentils and mushrooms mixed together in a blender, and then you just fry it up, and then you just put salad.
fried and baked.
You bake it. Really? It's not fried. Or you can bake it also.
No oil.
No oil. Djerdap National Park, and we're gonna fly the drone and hopefully see Danube. So let's do it. So here I'm trying to fly again towards the Danube to see how far we have, but it still seems like we have this one more hill in front of us. And you can see this is the widest part of the Danube. So looking around 360, you can still see there is lots of cleared up areas and fields in Djerdap National Park. So it's not so protected as you would think, and it's more like a business than it's a protection area. So here I'm flying more towards Danube, but I should have saved the battery and left it for more awesome shots when we get closer to the Golubac castle. Alright, it's 3:44 and we're just leaving our lunch place. It's a really beautiful place. We still have about halfway to go, so we should be making it in around 2 hours. With the drone we were flying, I still didn't make it to Danube, but I only went 500 meters away. Maybe if I went 1 kilometer I would be able to see Danube, but we're gonna fly one more time when we get closer to it and we're gonna see the Danube. Alright, so we just arrived from here, and here this way you go to Golubac, and now we're gonna go here on the right to Golubac castle. So whenever you're here, don't make the mistake to go to Golubac if you want to go to the castle. Okay, so we're still going through the fields and stuff. So I think this part of Djerdap is I don't think it's even Djerdap still, but I see on the map it's not that many woods. It's more like fields and like woods now and then. But if you keep going on the like that way more farther, you will get to Donji Milanovac, and those woods are much more thick and dense, and there is a real wilderness. So this spot right here is not so much wilderness, it's more just like a fields, as you can see. So we can see the Danube in the distance, and our map is showing that we should keep going this way, but we don't see any road here, and it's showing that this way doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know if we should just start going this way or what. And in distance we can see the windmills in Romania. So they're investing in cleaner energy. Good thing. Okay, so I don't think this way is going anywhere. So we see the Danube here, and I think we should go down here somewhere. So hopefully after this field we can connect somewhere. So now we're getting better view of the Danube, and we still can't see the Golubac castle, but we are thinking it's just behind this hill in front of us. So from here it should be mostly down the hill. So let's compare Serbia and Romania like we compared Austria and Slovakia in terms of environmental friendliness. So even though they have these clean energy windmills, when you actually compare the forest area of Serbia and Romania, Romania has actually less forests than Serbia, 29% of total land, where Serbia has 31%. Okay, now we connected to the path again, so it was not a little bit visible, and as I said, in the summer it will be even less visible. But now we got amazing view here, and we see the path, so hopefully we're gonna make it. I think the castle should be just down here somewhere behind the hills. So even though there seems to be a little bit more forest in Serbia, the wildlife protection seems to be better in Romania. Brown bear population seems to be a great measurement of wildlife protection. There are around 5,000 brown bears in Romania and only about 90 bears in Serbia. So now we're getting more down, and there's already fences and fields, and you can see that side is so many fields over there, because it's a lowland and it's really fertile, I think, because of the Danube. So it provides like a water as well, I think. It's amazing view here. Alright, we're entering some forest right now. It's really nice to feel the coldness, and now it's still April. Imagine during the July and August, it must be boiling here. So this part of Danube near Golubac and Donji Milanovac is also the widest part of the Danube. You would follow Danube to the east towards Donji Milanovac. You would see the famous iron gates, which are the tall cliffs on Romanian side. So I noticed that in springtime you have to be more alert about animals coming out after winter. Especially the snakes are very active. I also notice the most ticks in the springtime, so you always have to check yourself after the hike. Right, so I think we're going to that viewpoint over there. I don't know if you can see it in the distance. Yeah, there's a hill, and it's kind of nice and foresty here. This is what we were imagining, but this is really 100% doable on mountain bikes. And this is typical in Serbia. They just put the trash in nature in the middle of nowhere. As I said, no environmental consciousness at all. We just came from there, over those hills somewhere, and here is another road, and there's like a group of people that came from here, I think with a ranger as well, not sure. And now we're gonna follow this road and head down to Golubac castle. So now we made a little turn. We came from here, and you can also keep going down there, but you will just end up on the main road. But we're gonna go up here and go to some viewpoint, and then we're gonna go to Golubac castle. So now we're following this path here, but it's a higher grass. There were much better road back there, but we're still following the maps. So hopefully it gets better now. Okay, it's not too bad in the forest. So as I said, I love springtime, not only because it's getting warmer and warmer after the winter, especially this spring was really hot, it was getting up to 30 degrees Celsius, but also the day is getting longer, there is a time change, so you can have more fun outside till the darkness. And down here is some cliffs. It's probably some excavation site, but you can't really see it through the bushes here. Okay, we're getting down, and now we should see a viewpoint, and we're gonna get really close to the Danube. And maybe we're gonna fly a drone as well. Whoa, brother! This is a huge excavation site. Wow. This is Danube. This is Romania with the windmills. Amazing. Then we're gonna fly a drone. So we didn't have much battery in a drone as we're flying it already 2 times, but this seems like a perfect place to fly it. You have over the cliff, so you don't need to fly high, and then you have Danube right here, and maybe we can even see the Golubac castle. Yeah. So after only about 100 meters, I already got to the Danube and the main road, and here you can see the car park that's for the Golubac castle. So we should get out to the main road by this side road that you can see over here, and then we're gonna explore the Golubac castle more. I'm not sure if it's open though, and I'm gonna try now to fly over the Golubac castle. So it's amazing how they build this castle pretty much on the cliff by the Danube. So this day, as you can see, is perfect for flying drone. First I saw the wild fox and now recording this amazing castle. I wish I had more experience with flying the drone and take more footage like from the side and some more professional footage, but I'm gonna learn as the time goes. But I'm still very happy with today's drone footage. And here is 360 view around, so you can see how wide the Danube is at this point. On this side you can see cliffs by the Danube, the beginning of Iron Gates. So at this point the battery got under 30%, so it shows you the signalization to return home immediately. I thought I'm really near, but it took actually quite some time to get back home, and I was actually stressing quite a lot if the battery is gonna run out before I get back to me. You can actually lose your drone if you run out of battery, especially above the water or on some stiff cliffs like over here. In that case you have to land it somewhere in a forest, which is quite risky. This actually happened to me some other time where I had to crash the drone in the bushes and then we had to look for it. Alright, so we finished flying with the drone. I'm really happy with the footage of the castle. Now we're just gonna record these cliffs a little bit more, take some more pictures and then head down to the castle. So when we got a little bit more down, we got the view again of the Golubac castle that I was flying over. So the Djerdap National Park together with the Golubac castle, it's one of the top touristic destinations in Serbia. So now we enter the forest again, but we only have about 15 minutes to Golubac castle. This is on our excavation site. It seems like maybe there'll be a good wall for climbing also. What do you think? Climbing? So now we got even better view of the Golubac castle, and you can notice there is a tunnel going through the hill just beside it. It's also a great view if you're going with a car by this road. So I really have no respect for signs like this. It says strictly prohibited access without national park ranger, and all they do to protect this is they make a business out of it, so you have to pay the ranger to get here. See, they don't really protect the nature here. It was all just the fields there There are some awesome unmarked paths to the viewpoints above the Danube where people are willing to pay money for, and so they just made it a business. It has nothing to do with the nature protection. So we are almost done at the main road, and I want to talk a little bit more about the scam rangers here. As I said, taking people with a ranger has nothing to do with the nature protection. It's more about the money and business. Rangers quickly realized that there is lots of people willing to pay money for here because there is no really any marking paths, and they're not gonna do any marking paths anytime soon as long as the tourists are willing to pay the money for it. So I would never be afraid to go by myself here in this national park without a ranger, and if I meet one, I will tell him that this is all bullshit and not pay him any money. Because nobody can own nature. I can tell you by the size of the deforestation where we're going through today and the fields, they're doing a fuck all with the nature protection. So here we got to the Golubac fortress site map, and there's different more things you can do, some more excavation sites. We're gonna explore the site while we wait for Sanya's parents to pick us up. The Golubac Fortress Nature Reserve is a part of the Djerdap National Park, the home to over 270 bird species. The diversity of the bird world has established Djerdap as an IBA area, important biodiversity and bird area, internationally important for bird survival. Many diverse breeding birds live here, as well as migratory and winter visitor birds. The fortress and the town of Golubac take their name from the Serbian word for pigeon, golub, and the bird that is the symbol of peace and divine presence. So we were hoping that we could go inside the castle, or at least outside to walk around the castle walls, but it seems like it's closed, that it's in reconstruction, because we don't see any people inside there. Hammam, Turkish bath from 15th century. After conquering the Golubac fortress in 1458, Koca Mahmud Pasa Angelovic builds a hammam, public bath intended only for men. The hammam was probably used by women as well, but only on specific day of the week. The Golubac hammam has 290 square meters in area, and it had 9 rooms, all of them preserved. Entrance was a waiting room with a fountain in the central part in which the hammam keeper greeted his visitors. Kapaluk was a warm room for rest after bathing and a waiting room in the winter period. Lime kiln, medieval object from 14th to 15th century. From the finds belonging to the time of construction and existence of the Golubac fortress, the most notable are ceramic bowls, tools, jewelry and coins. What stands out is a circular building used for baking lime mortar, which was the mortar used for construction of the fortress. Medieval lime kilns are not among common finds during archaeological excavations. This lime kiln was forcefully opened during the process of baking the lime mortar, and its dimensions show that it could easily make all the needed baked lime. The stone frame of its stove hall is well preserved. Meydan Sauna, the room where the visitors prepared for bathing with relaxing massage, sauna, and taking care of personal hygiene. Halvats bathing rooms. Halvats are 2 identical rooms used for bathing. One had bathtubs for warm and the other one had bathtubs for cold baths. Hazna water reservoir. Below the brick floor level was Hippocaust, the space where hot air circulated between rock pillars and heated the interior of the hammam rooms. Additionally, vents for releasing the steam and smoke from the Hippocaust were lined up vertically on the walls, and they were also used for heating the walls of the rooms. Mobile finds. Standing out from other mobile finds are fragments of table ceramic dishes, plates, bowls, and pots of exquisite style, red and yellowish white in color, some which had stamped ornaments. These dishes were used in 2nd and 3rd centuries. Bricks. A large number of discovered bricks with legion seals confirm the existence of Roman legion presence at this locale, specifically the presence and activities of a part of the 4th Flavia Felix Cupis legion. Djerdap Iron Gate. Piercing through the Carpathian Mountains, the Danube has created the biggest and most beautiful gorge in Europe, Djerdap, or the Iron Gate. The Golubac Fortress. The Golubac Fortress is a medieval fortification built at the very entrance to the Djerdap Gorge on the tall cliffs of the Ridden Rock. Because of its extremely important geostrategic position at the confines of the great empires of Hungary, Serbia and Turkey, it was a place where many battles and wars were fought, especially during the 14th and 15th century. Archaeological Park. During the revitalization of the fortress, the archaeological excavations at the western outer ward have unearthed many new buildings and finds from different time periods that are the evidence of the continuous string of life here from the Bronze and Iron Ages and onwards. Okay, so that's it for the archaeological park. The Sanya's parents came to pick us up and we have a nice sunset. So we're gonna try to fly a drone one more time and hopefully get a nice picture of the sunset with the Golubac castle. So after taking off, I made a little mistake. Instead of flying towards the Danube, I was flying back towards the car park where the people were. And one of the guards here noticed that I'm flying the drone, and he immediately started to tell us to land it immediately because it's prohibited. So I didn't even have time to record the Golubac castle, Danube or any of the surroundings. So it's unfortunate that there are such stupid rules like this, that you can't fly anywhere, even in a national park. You can't fly where the people are. So, and you pretty much, if you want to fly a drone, you have to tell some authorities, like police, I think 24 hours before flying. So it's really complicated, and stupid rules like this should be broken. And I would not follow these stupid rules. As you see, like, you can fly a drone, just hide yourself somewhere on the hill and you can fly above Golubac castle, no problem. So even though I was a little bit frustrated that I couldn't fly the drone and get an awesome footage of the sunset, at least we got a sunset here from the car going on this road under these cliffs. As I said before, stupid rules are there to be broken, like the rule that you can't go in the national park without a ranger, or that you can't fly a drone in a national park. It's just ridiculous. Instead of them doing something about the deforestation because of animal agriculture or the big excavation sites, instead of they're focusing on tourists who are flying drones or going in the park without a ranger. And I'll tell you, at the end of the day, it's all because of the money. way back we stopped in Golubac at the restaurant near the Danube and we ordered some vegan pizzas and we got this amazing after sunset view. And as the scenery was so good, I couldn't just wait inside the restaurant, so I decided to go for a little run. Leave the fish in the water, they can feel the pain too, and you can eat some other plant foods. Go vegan. Cats are the real carnivores. There is nothing in meat that you cannot get from plants. All the nature is awakening at the springtime. Alright guys, that's it for this amazing hike from Krivača to Golubac Fortress to Djerdap National Park. I thought there would be more forest and less fields, but on the other hand I didn't think we would get such a great drone footage of the fox and of the Golubac Fortress. And also I got a little bit disappointed when I saw those signs that you cannot enter the national park without a ranger. And when that guy told us at the end that we cannot fly the drone. And here I spotted a fire that's in the national park. And I'm sure this fire is not caused by some tourists without ranger. It's most likely caused by uncontrolled burning of the fields. So again, don't worry about stupid rules, follow the money. Alright guys, there is a lot more exciting vlogs coming from Serbia, so stay tuned for future videos.
And as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.